The extent to which loot mechanics have affected various games and franchises is pretty unparalleled. On the plus side, this means fans of looters, whether it's shooters or action RPGs, have a lot to look forward to in the coming years. Destiny 2 LIGHTFALL. Bungie's next expansion for Destiny 2 promises high stakes, though when they usually don't is the greatest mystery. Along with the perfunctory amount of new gear, weapons, exotics, and perks that can be expected, players can also look forward to the new Strand subclasses. Warlocks can unleash missiles, Titans get large claw-like appendages, and Hunters use a rope dart with some fancy footwork. A new raid, new 6-player activity, and a legendary campaign option, in addition to the quality of life features like loadouts, can all be expected when it launches on February 28, 2023. GUNFIRE REBORN, Xbox. Described as a roguelite meets looter-shooter, GUNFIRE REBORN offers 100 different weapons and items, along with multiple characters and unique skills. It's pretty easy to pick up, but soon enough you'll be acquiring gloves that fire lasers, scrolls for unique upgrades, and swapping out weapons for better options. Currently available for PC, GUNFIRE REBORN will be out on October 27th for Xbox One and Xbox Series. PS4, PS5, and Nintendo Switch players need to wait for later this year though. God of War RAGNAROK. Some may scoff, but hardcore fans of God of War 2018 will attest to its builds and loot. Though it may not be as complex as other hack-and-slash looters, outfitting Kratos with different runes and armor while grinding out the materials to craft the latter is as important as synergizing different abilities used. God of War RAGNAROK should follow suit when it releases on November 9th, if not expand on this further thanks to more shields, weapon signature moves, and much more. Atomic Heart. At its core, Atomic Heart offers more of a System Shock-like experience. Playing through a trippy yet increasingly disturbing region of sentient robots, one can utilize 30 different types of melee weapons, modify them using the Chica 3.0, and equip various firearms. Your abilities are also core to the experience, like drenching foes in water and electrocuting them. It's slated to release sometime between December 2022 and March 2023. Wild Hearts. Omega Force's AAA hunting title is out in February 2023 and provides a Monster Hunter-esque experience. You know the drill. Hunt monsters, known as kimono, craft better gear and weapons, hunt stronger monsters, and repeat. Skills will undoubtedly come into play. And there's also the Karakuri, which can be strengthened for even more building shenanigans. Endgame details are yet to be revealed, but the story is around 30 hours, and there are numerous weapon types to play around with. Wolong Fallen Dynasty. Team Ninja's Wolong Fallen Dynasty mashes several different action RPG mechanics together, but the Neo-style loot remains. You can equip armor and weapons of various types, each having different stats and perks. Figuring out what you want to run, whether it's less damage received while attacking, status effect accumulation on enemies, and so on, is important. Nothing has been said about crafting, gear sets, and bonuses, and so on, but there are cool legendary weapons to collect. We'll just have to wait until early 2023 to find out more. Diablo 4. Amid all of the controversies, departures, and changing mechanics, Diablo 4 appears to be releasing at some point in 2023. There's a lot to look forward to aside from the multiple classes, whether it's dungeons, the massive open world, strongholds, PvP, Paragon boards, or couch co-op. The action looks solid, and the post-launch support looks promising, which is saying a lot after the debacle that was Diablo Immortal. Path of Exile 2. Path of Exile 2 takes place several years later, but it's also a massive update to the first game. It features a new 7-act campaign and 19 new Ascendancy classes while revamping several aspects of the core looter. Hooray for fully linked sockets on items. While the current game has had issues with nerfs, enemy difficulty, and rewards in Lake of Kalandra, it's still the most complex Diablo-like title on the market. It should be interesting to see where Path of Exile 2 takes it in the future. The First Descendant. Developed on Unreal Engine 5, Nexon's The First Descendant is a sleek third-person co-op shooter where you fight off invaders using the power of the Descendants. Not the most in-depth story, for now, but it offers a variety of characters with different skills, difficulty options, and scenarios to complete. Scenarios provide better loot, and better loot helps in higher difficulties and world missions. There's still a way to go for the title, but it will be free to play at launch. Last Epoch. If the wait for the Path of Exile 2 is too long, then Last Epoch may be worth checking out. Currently in early access for PC, it features 5 classes, each with 3 mastery classes, extensive skill trees, and a decent endgame with its monoliths and dungeons. The crafting is perhaps the best in the genre, with lots of depth and player agency, and few risks of breaking an item. Last Epoch will remain in early access until 2023, with even more updates to come. Lies of P. More Bloodborne-esque with its combat and atmosphere, Lies of P has a fair amount of loot to discover. Using his Legion arm, Pinocchio combines different components to form new weapons. Along with 30 different weapon types, there are about 100 combinations of components to discover, allowing one to use blades, flamethrowers, and even a grappling hook to pull enemies close. It's intriguing, but given the lack of a release date, we may have to wait some time to experiment. REDFALL. Arcane Studios has always had a weird relationship with loot. The best example is Deathloop, which took a roguelite approach, but REDFALL takes things in multiple directions. It has 4 playable characters, each with unique skills and abilities, and supports solo and co-op play. The open world of REDFALL, Massachusetts, is constantly shifting as you clear bases, complete missions, and hunt down vampires in an attempt to escape. You'll collect loot with different rarities, and each has its ratings and perks. Along the grave locks that provide, quote, gameplay modifying abilities, end quote. Overall, it's an interesting mashup of ideas. Hopefully it strikes a chord when it launches next year. STARFIELD. While STARFIELD is looking to be a more hardcore role-playing experience than Bethesda's recent titles, it's probably safe to expect a fair amount of loot a la Fallout 4. There's a hope that weapons and armor will have more meaningful customization, or that there are more interesting builds to play, especially with skills looking a bit too straightforward at the moment. Your move, Todd. The Lords of the Fallen. Previously in development hell as Lords of the Fallen 2, The Lords of the Fallen is slated to arrive next year for Xbox Series, PS5, and PC. While CI Games hasn't outlined everything or showcased much gameplay, the world is 5 times larger than the first game. That means a lot more characters and quests and potentially loot. New armor, weapons, and runes can be expected, but hopefully the sequel expands on things further in terms of build variety. That's all for now. If you enjoy what you saw, please hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, now is a great time to subscribe. We upload brand new videos every single day. After subscribing, don't forget to enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you next time, right here on Gaming Bolt.